Hi, my name is Dave Cummings. I'm from Lino Lakes, Minnesota, which is the northern suburbs of Minneapolis. On February 22nd, I was out training as I'm a triathlete, and I compete about 5 triathlons in the sprint categories every year. I do quite well, usually top 3 in my age group, and last year I was 4th in the state. But in any case, I was out on a training ride in February, last week of February this year, and a car missed a stop sign. A girl was talking on her cell phone, went right through the stop sign. She didn't look both ways. She hit me and took me down while I was cycling. And she kept going, and I was trapped under the front of her car, and she instantly broke my femur in 3 places, which was a compound fracture. She broke my shoulder or collarbone, separated my left shoulder, broke 2 of my vertebrae, crushed 1 of my discs between T12 and L1, broke 3 ribs, and severed part of my femoral artery and vein in the left leg as a result of the broken femur. When it was hit, I was awake for all of it, and the girl got out of her car and came to the front because half her car had broken into pieces. I broke the grille and her headlight assembly and all that. She gets out of her car and she heard noise up front. She thought it was like a bush or debris that she picked up under the car. She gets out and she sees a foot and a head under her license plate protruding out. It looked like the Wicked Witch of the West. Well, then the cops showed up a few minutes later, and she's arguing with me about, well, did I hurt you? And I said, well, my leg's always been up around my left ear like that. And so I said, yeah, my leg's broke and a few other things, at least from what I can tell, and I'm bleeding pretty bad here. And as they pushed the car off, I had a pool of blood the size of her hood of her car. And it was 14 degrees out, so it wasn't traveling that fast. So I was rushed to Regents Hospital in Minneapolis, in St. Paul actually, and I spent the next 10 days in intensive care and had 4 surgeries repairing the damage. They put an inflatable tourniquet on me, but I had lost somewhere around 68% of my blood, which is traumatic because and I was awake for all of it. They had to forego a surgery that they wanted to do on my back, where they wanted to plate the broken vertebrae so that they would heal straight. And instead, now I have vertebrae that are healed like this, and that hurts me in that I don't have a nice straight back, and that a nice straight back is a strong back. I'd lost 50% of my blood factory in a broken femur. Now it's gone and no longer able to produce blood. So you've got to have everything else ramp up and step up and make that blood for you somewhere, because that's the marrow, which is what makes all the blood. So it's a stressful deal. When you're an athlete and you're stressing and you're trying to recover, I mean, if you look at the life of a red blood cell, it's going to take that long to replace everything. So you've got to keep the stress on it, and you got to keep, working, and it's going to take about 90 to 120 days to replace that blood. Well, so I came to ACCUA because I had spoke to a friend of mine who has a place out west, and he has an underwater treadmill, I believe by HydroWorx as well. And he said, you've got to find one of these, you've got to get in it if you can't come here. So fortunately I found Chris down here at ACCUA in Savage, Minnesota, which is a 52-mile drive for me, by the way. But and I started coming here 2 or 3 times a week to get, some motion back, and to get some strengthening and conditioning back, and to, replenish the blood vessel, everything that was damaged. I'd lost so much. The atrophy was tremendous. I couldn't do anything. So that was an incredible part of my recovery, because it wasn't just the physical, it was the mental. The mental part of it, when you're an athlete and you just really need to do this kind of activity every day, which I do, and to have it taken away it's incomprehensible. I mean, you go through bouts of depression that are, you want to just die, and coupled with the injuries and the pain and so on, it was just a bad deal. And then they're always trying to feed you drugs and make you better, but that's not what I want. I wanted exercise, you know. So this helped me get back into motion and get back going again. And the treadmill is so natural. I mean, for me, I couldn't believe it. I felt like I was back on the roads again running, and it's so fluid and natural, but without the weight bearing. It was ideal for what I had to do. And I could also see that would be ideal for anybody who wanted to complement or supplement their current training when they're looking for a few extra miles, and you don't need that overtraining or overusage stuff from the weight bearing and so on, because I've been there too. And I hope to, you know, continue pursuing it. I just hope he gets one opened up a little closer to where I live.